Hi, it's Mark Koehler here again. Thanks for being here, and I thank you for inviting me back. I got a lot of nice, wonderful feedback and comments about the first online concert I did, and I'm very happy to be here again after being requested to do another one. And I wanted to share this shirt also. Friends of mine, it's Snoopy holding a record saying life is better with music. And as I was practicing these earlier last week, so I was wearing this shirt, I'm going, this works, because the pieces I'm going to share with you have made my life better. And so I hope you enjoy this time we'll have together. Let's have some fun. And this first piece, by the way, brownie points for people who knew from the first concert I did. I talked about Fly, Robin, Fly. And I saw comments on Facebook, oh, I know that. And they knew it before I played it. So anyway, this piece, anybody know? Music Box Dancer, Frank Mills. Always have loved it. The original I like a lot. It has like piano, rhythm, strings, and then this sort of background vocal just going, ah. I like that. I like it. This will give you a little piece of that. And this piece makes me happy. Anytime I hear it on the radio, even when it came out, always enjoyed it. And so it makes me happy, but also cloudy, rainy weather makes me happy. So who knows what we'll feel. Music Box Dancer, Frank Mills. The next piece I'm going to play is an arrangement of a hymn tune. And in case you didn't know, hymn tunes themselves have names for them most of the time. And many times they are not related to the actual hymn text and the words we sing to it. And I wanted to share my favorite hymn tune. And I like it best when just playing it. Words get in the way sometimes for me. I just think it's a beautiful hymn tune, and it's just based on a traditional North American tune. That's what basically it says. But the name for it is Resignation. I just made me like it even more. And this arrangement I found, well, first I'm going to play the hymn tune just straight through, and that's my favorite way to play it, just that way. But this arrangement I found is very interesting to me. It sounds like a Percy Faith orchestra arrangement. And fortunately for me, growing up, my parents had a huge range and genre of music they listened to. Percy Faith Orchestra was there, Ray Conniff, Bobby Gentry, Mamas and the Papas, Al Hirt, Louis Armstrong. That's just some of it. Peggy Lee. And so anyway, this arrangement I will play straight through, then Roger Summers' arrangement of Resignation, the hymn tune, and it reminds me of Percy Faith. I hear strings and, I don't know, sort of lush. I hope you enjoy it. I'm at the organ. I had a request for an organ piece, and also had a request for a harpsichord. And not in this concert, but in the future we'll be doing some harpsichord stuff soon. And also requests for John Bull's Rondo in G. It's a very exciting piece, but it requires for me to play it another person standing very close, reaching over me, turning pages, pulling stops in, pushing them out. And just with the distance and closeness required in that partnership of a piece, I just didn't want to ask someone to do that at this point. But we will be playing it soon again. And the piece I'll be playing now, the request, is from Handel's Water Music. It's Allegro Maestoso. Had to add, when people say, oh, I could play piano, but I could never do the left hand and the right hand together, I can relate. But then imagine with organ adding your feet too, because there's a whole pedal board down here. You play with your feet, with your hands, and then there's 3 keyboards too. So the organ, like here, this wonderful instrument, is a whole different beast, but I love it too. Okay, another piece from my life. In 8th grade, here in Ashland, I was in 8th grade, and this was in McDowell Auditorium. Some of you might know that place. And if you don't, it was a very big, huge auditorium that got smaller the older I got. It seemed very big when I was in 8th grade. And we had a talent show, and I played a piece that I'm going to share with you now. And it is Rachmaninoff's Prelude in C-sharp minor. So I was in 8th grade in the talent show, and what I remember the most, and I equate it with this piece ever since, is in the middle, toward the middle to the end of the piece, I realized as I was playing that someone was throwing pennies at me. I'm playing, and pennies were coming. So that's what I remember all the time. I haven't played it since 8th grade, so we'll see how it goes. And I just think that's sort of funny, so I thought I'd share it. And that definitely made an impact on my life in a fun way. Okay, this next piece I'm going to play is just one of my favorite events in my life. And I have permission from the family to name names and share the story. As far as memorial services, there's a huge variety of styles, and we just go individually with how families wish to go with their service. And this was a service for Edna Staley. Some of you might know her. And I was doing the music for her service, and actually a friend of mine, I went to school here from 7th grade on. And one of Edna's granddaughters, Laura, was in my class, and Laura was up here talking, sharing about Edna, and how Edna was trying to teach her to play Alley Cat. Yes, Alley Cat by Frank Bjorn, or Bent Fabric. Yes, he goes by both names. And she was saying how Edna was trying to teach her, and Laura just couldn't get it. And Laura was just saying it in just such a funny way. And then I was sitting there at the organ looking over, and there was the music. I've had that music my whole life. And I'm going, should I say it? Should I mention it? Should I play it at the end of the service? And I went with it. I did pray about it a bit. I'm going, yeah, I'm going to do it. So at the end of the service, for a postlude, the first thing I played, I got here, started playing Alley Cat. And as I saw Laura as she was going out, her head went up, huge smile, laughing, and she's going, yes! So anyway, I've liked the song all along, but then that happening was just wonderful, and it's a favorite memory of mine. So thanks for letting me share. Okay, anytime I have an opportunity to share music with people, I will probably try to play composer Robert Muczynski, my favorite composer to play of all. And And I've shared before, I had a writing correspondence with him, and I have letters from him, and it's great. Nice guy. And so the piece I'm going to play is from his Suite for Piano, Opus 13. And I thought this is just fun because we're going to sort of play an interactive game here. Get ready, here we go. To me, I don't know if Robert Muczynski meant it, but to me, and it happens throughout the piece, quoting a well-known children's song tune. Okay, there's your clue. Your second clue is this piece is called Vision. Vision, childhood tune, and if you can't figure it out, I'm not going to tell you anyway. So here we go, Vision, Robert Muczynski. And I would like to share with you the first piece as I was learning organ here. This was the first piece I sort of fell in love with, written specifically for the organ. And I can just tell as I was playing it, I'm going, it's just unusual. It's beautiful to me. It is Marcel Dupre's Antiphon 5, How Fair and How Pleasant Art Thou, which is a verse from Song of Solomon. And I love the way you can just tell it's written specifically for the organ because the pedal part, the feet, end up being part of the melody throughout the whole piece. It just interlaps and has these ethereal rising melodic lines that just take me somewhere wonderful. And I do have permission to tell this story also. The last time I played it was probably sometime in the last year that Pastor Mitchell was senior pastor here. And I played it on a certain Sunday and then saw him at the grocery store. And he said, that piece you played is one of my very favorite pieces you've ever played on the organ. I've always loved it. And I never knew that. After all the years, and we worked together a long time. If you don't know who Pastor Mitchell is, he was senior pastor here for a long time. And that was just a fun thing to know. So I hope you enjoy it. Okay, this piece that I'm playing next is a request, actually. I had a couple requests from people wanting to hear an arrangement by George Shearing. And I first heard of him from my teacher, my freshman year at Ohio University. Yay, Bobcats. And since then, I've looked him up. I'm going, I don't think there's anything this man didn't do. Oh my gosh. But anyway, my teacher at OU, I'm glad he introduced me to him. He always has intricate, complex chords. They're just so interesting. And this is a piece, the hymn tune is Restoration. And many times it's equated with the hymn, Come ye sinners, poor and needy. But that text has a lot of different hymn tunes with it. So this is a George Shearing arrangement of the hymn tune Restoration. Okay, Robert Muczynski again, but I want to share that this is the very first piece I ever learned of his work. And I was in 9th grade, and I learned this piece, and you might have heard me play it before, but I've never been able to say that it's my first. So this is his 6th prelude from his 6 Preludes, Opus 6 for piano. I want to share very quickly 2 short excerpts from his piano concerto for piano and orchestra and at Ohio University. I was in a concerto competition, and I was very honored and thrilled to work on his piano concerto, and that's when we started writing. Well, we had some letter writing during that time, so it's just fun. This is, after hearing the 2 pieces I played, this is the opening theme to his 2nd movement of the piano concerto. Listen to how lovely. Goes on like that. And this is the theme to his first movement. And it goes on like that. Okay, it's a request time again. This is another request I got for this hymn. The hymn is the church's One Foundation. And also I like this arrangement, and it's by Bradley Sowash. And I know some other people like Bradley Sowash's arrangements like I do. Always interesting. I think I'm using that word a lot, interesting. And this one just is the church's One Foundation. The hymn tune is Aurelia, and this sounds very much like an evening sound. That's why I picked it, because it's evening right now. hope you've enjoyed spending some time with me. I know I wanted to be here. Very happy to share just some stuff with you. And the last piece I'm going to be playing a Scott Joplin piece. I like Scott Joplin a lot. And this is the very first piece I ever learned of his. I was in 10th grade. And this is called Elite Syncopations. And I just feel so happy when I'm playing this. And it's the physical act of me playing and interacting with this piece that just makes me feel great. And I hope you have a sense of it coming back out there. I don't know, because it's just here for me. And I remember my dad liking when I practiced Scott Joplin. You could play that all day, Mark. And I think he has a good point. And it just builds to this glorious ending to me. So again, thank you for spending time, and be well. And let's just go a day at a time. That's all we can do anyway. So my best to you.